What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another WNBA video. Today is Saturday, September 6th, and we have ourselves a two-game slate to dive into here in the WNBA. So we're going to break down and analyze those games, and I'm going to talk about which way that I'm leaning as far as the points in the spread. And then when it's all said and done, make sure you check down there into that pinned comment. You'll find a link down there that's going to send you over to the Guy Boston Sports website. So we're going to find all of my final plays for these games listed for free. Now, before we dive into these games, let's go ahead and jump over there to the website. We need to take a look back to both Thursday and Friday. Let's see what we put in on those days and how that ended up going down. So on Thursday, we end up putting in 3 plays and we go 2-1 on the night. Alyssa Thomas over 8.5 rebounds. This one was sweaty, man. She went into the fourth quarter with 3 rebounds, but she does end up clearing this line. We took the Wings and the Valkyries a total under 160.5. They do go up and over that number, so we don't hit on that one. But then we took the Lynx and the Aces, total over 164.5, and we do cash out there. So 2-1 on Thursday. Then on Friday, we have another good night, man. 2-0 on the day. Kelsey Mitchell over 19.5 points. That was a cash. And the Liberty on the money line at plus money was a cash as well. So we're 6-1 over the last 3 days, 9-3 over the last 5 days. So having more profitable days than losing days, and that is obviously what we're looking for here, man. It has been such an up and down WNBA season, but we have managed to, we were on. I've talked about it before. We were down like 5, close to 6 units there at the end of June, kind of mid-July area. That middle June to middle July was just brutal. But we dug ourselves out of that hole, got up to a little over a unit, right? And then, this has kind of been the name of the game for me all season. You'll notice a lot of times on these plays, man, I'm not putting in much over half a unit. And the reason why is like anytime I start getting some confidence, like, okay, we're starting to see the board really well. Things are starting to, turn in our direction. Still a full unit on this one. I'm feeling really good about it. Have a horrible night. So kind of just kept everything at half units, man, playing things safe. So haven't been able to stack up crazy amount of units, right? Because that's what I was about to say. We had gotten up a little bit over a unit, after digging out of that hole, and then we lost it all right back, right? So just was like hovering in between negative and positive, which is not where we want to be. But we're up 2.5 units now. We're 199 and 178 with 3 pushes on the year. So not doing shabby, man. Look, we had a better year last year for sure, right? But not doing too bad. Kind of gaining some momentum here at the end of the season, heading into the playoffs, which is what I want to do, man. We had a good playoffs last year, so hopefully we can repeat that this year. So enough rambling about the picks and the plays. Let's go ahead and get into the picks and the plays for today. Hit that like button down there for me if you can. Hit subscribe if you have not already. Guys, let's jump right into the mix, man. First game going to be tipping off here in a few hours, 1 p.m. We got the Mercury taking on the Sun. Phoenix is 10.5 point favorites in this one. That total sitting at 162.5. Phoenix also going to be on their second road game here in a row and at a 1-day rest disadvantage. But these Mercury, they've won 6 straight games now, 8 of their last 9 coming into this one. They're 27-14 on the year. They currently sit in a 3-way tie for second place, and there's, reason to play still, obviously. 1 through 4, it's going to get you home court advantage in the first round, but whoever gets that second seed, they're also going to have home court advantage in the second round as well. Phoenix has gone 12-8 on the road, 9-10-1 on the road to the number, but they have failed to cover in 3 of their last 4 now. The Sun, they're coming into this one having lost 3 in a row, 4 of their last 5, and after covering in 7 straight, they've now failed to cover in 3 in a row as well. They're 10-31 on the year, 6-14 at home, 11-9 against the spread when playing at home. Now, Connecticut has been double-digit dogs a good bit this season. They've gone 14-10 to the number in those games. Phoenix has a double-digit favorite, just 4-5 against the spread, 2-5 on the road. With that said, the Mercury have taken care of business in both matches with the Sun so far this year, winning in Connecticut by 8 back in mid-June, and then by 16 in Phoenix early on in August. It should be noted that, while they failed to cover in that first meeting, they did cover as a 15-point favorite there in that second game. Now, over the last 5 games, we see these two trending in different paths. The Mercury are sitting at 5th for offensive rating, 3rd for defensive rating. They're coming in at 4th for overall net rating, while the Sun, they've fallen back down towards the bottom, where they've lived for most of the year, right? 10th offensively, 2nd from last for defensive rating, and a net rating that has them 3rd worst in the W at 11th. Now, Connecticut was finding success defensively for a nice stretch, man, before this recent slide back down. They were forcing a ton of turnovers. They were scoring a ton off those turnovers, and they were doing well in transition also. All of those numbers have dipped, and now against a Phoenix team that's allowing the 3rd fewest points off turnovers and giving up just the 4th fewest turnovers overall, not liking that look for the Sun, man. The Mercury, on the other hand, they've been doing a lot of things pretty well, right? Top 5 for 3-point makes, rebounds per game, turnovers given up. They're 2nd for assists. They're scoring the 2nd most points off of turnovers, the most points in transition on the break, while the Sun, they're just 10th for points allowed off turnovers, and they're giving up the most fast break points. So also not a good look for the Sun, right? With Alyssa Thomas out there running the break, it can get kind of scary. especially against your old team here, right? The thing is, I'm not a fan of laying this many points with the Mercury on the road, man. But like I said, they do have something to play for still. They're the far superior team end of the day, so I'm going to lean with them on the side. I'm just not sure that I get there, man. For the total, Phoenix has hit 7 unders in a row coming into this one, and that last head-to-head between these two hit to the under as well. Connecticut, they have been more of a mixed bag in this regard as of late. 2 overs, 2 unders, and the push over their last 5 games. Suns sit at just 8th for pace over the last 5, while the Mercury come in at 9th. So I'll look towards an under here in this game. Real quick, before we jump into the next game, guys, I did want to take a second to talk to you about No Vig. Guys, if you have not dabbled in peer-to-peer exchanges, man, you are definitely missing out. So using No Vig, it allows you to get unbeatable prices and lines on just about every game. And why, you ask? Because it is other users that are setting the lines and setting the odds. You're competing with other users, not the big book, right? Now, peer-to-peer, it is growing at a crazy rate, man. So don't be late to this, guy. Sign up for No Vig today using the link down in the description, as well as the pinned comment. You're going to get yourself a nice bonus of up to $50 as well. So check it out, man. It operates just like your normal book, but with better lines. For our second game on the day, 8:30 p.m. tip-off time for this one. Minnesota Lynx, Golden State Valkyries. Now this line's moving, man. It opened up Lynx minus 7.5. I'm seeing a 6.5. I'm seeing 5.5 as well, depending on the price you want to pay. Now you can get a Valkyries 5.5 right now at plus money. It's looking like, and then yeah, you got some 6.5s available. 7.5 is available still. It's just a little more juice now. Total sitting at 156.5. Now, that's going to be the second of 3 straight on the road from Minnesota, the 5th in a row at home for Golden State before they'll head out for 2 road games to close out the regular season. Well, the Valkyries, man, they clinched a playoff spot here in their first year of existence with their last win over the Wings on Thursday night. Golden State is 23-18 straight up. They're 25-15-1 to the number. And at home, 14-7 straight up, 14-6-1 to the number. And the energy that they get over there from that home crowd is just simply amazing. The Lynx, though, they're locked into that 1 seed. So, with that said, man, right away, this looks like, too many points to be given this Valkyries team at home. And it makes sense that number's coming down, right? Now, head to head, the Lynx have won each of the first 2 meetings by 11 points, both times. They come in off of a 10-point loss to the Aces their last time out. But again, that was a game that meant more to Vegas than the Lynx. And you got to wonder if Coach Reeves is going to start limiting minutes or sitting players altogether, even, right? There's just not much for them to play for at this point. You want to keep everybody fresh and avoid any kind of injuries, right, heading into the postseason. Now, the injury reports with how they've gone this year, I don't trust that if that's the case, if she does start limiting minutes, we wouldn't even know before tip-off, right, as far as limited minutes. And if someone is going to be a scratch for any of these games, we're not going to find out until right before tips. So playing the side on these Lynx games are going to be tricky to close out the regular season. The Valkyries have been on a roll as well on their end, man. 5 straight wins, 4-1 to the number over those 5 games there. 4th for offensive rating over their last 5, first for both defensive and overall net rating. The Lynx in their last 5, sitting at first for offensive rating, but just 10th defensively. They're coming in at 5th for net rating over that time. Both these teams, they've been looking to the perimeter for their points as well. They're tied over the last 5 games for percentage of points scored from three-point range. They are leading the league in this regard. Minnesota has been hitting the most threes per game over the last 5. Golden State the second most, but Minnesota sits at just 7th for three-pointers allowed. The Valkyries come in at 4th. The Lynx are also allowing the 3rd highest three-point shooting percentage, while Golden State is allowing the lowest, just 24% shooting from deep. And the Valkyries have also been better on the boards as well, man, allowing the 5th fewest offensive rebounds per game, while the Lynx are giving up the 2nd most. Minnesota is 5th for total rebounds allowed per game, but Golden State, they're 1st in that regard. So I just think all in all, man, like I said, this is just too many points to give the Valkyries in this situation. All right. If the Lynx had anything to play for, or this one was in Minnesota, I might feel differently, but as it stands here, I'm leaning with the Valkyries catching the points. I probably will pay a little bit more juice though and get that 6.5 or get a 7.5 even, right? I want as many points as I can get, but yeah, that's the side that I want to be on if I play this game. For the total, they did hit under this same line in their last meeting, and Golden State has hit to the under in 2 of their last 3, 25 of the 41 games that they played overall. But they're shooting the ball really well, man. They're attacking the paint. They're getting out in transition effectively as well. The Lynx have definitely taken a step back defensively as the season winds down, so I'd be looking towards the over looking at this game. And guys, man, I'm just not loving this slate today. Just being completely honest with you guys, I don't see me putting in a lot of plays here today, and if I do, they're going to be light plays, right? And I don't see any player props with like a ton of value on the board, so I'm not going to force anything in that respect. And with that said, man, that is going to wrap us up for the day. So I hope you guys all have yourselves a great Saturday, and I hope you guys all cash out, make a little bit of money, and I'll see you back tomorrow for the next one.